G'day guys, welcome to the review of the Cats and Carlton, and a big upset in Geelong. As we can see, the Blues by 2 points. Geelong with a lot of chances late, and they couldn't get the job done. So the Blues set it all up. They kicked, I believe, the first 4 goals. They got out to a 42-point lead. That seems to be quite a buzz margin to be in front by at the moment. Had the game under control for 3 quarters. They were absolutely brilliant. They played great. I think this review is more so about how good Carlton were with, I suppose more regard to that rather than how Geelong played. But yeah, congrats on the Blues getting a good win there. I pretty much know a team's going to win if the big forwards on the opposition are playing well. So, yeah, we had the Blues use the ball really well. Their pressure was exceptional. That's absolutely spot on there. They were very, very good by hand and foot. They're kicking to leading players, and the forward line, I suppose, cohesion they had going was really smooth as well. They made our defence work really hard, so they made most of their chances and almost caught them late, but Geelong couldn't quite get across the line. Their defensive structures were set up superbly because of their pressure. We rushed the ball a lot of the times, and we kicked it straight back to Carlton, and they were very decisive, as I was saying, by hand and foot, and they get home with the chocolates. But as far as the Cats, I mean, there was always going to be a big start to Carlton, and I mean this season I think just look right here. We'll go back to Thursday night. So Richmond's favourite, Giants are favourite. They lose. No more games there. North are favourites. These results go ahead as normal. Richmond obviously really poor there. So I think there's not as many upsets as I actually anticipated, but I just get the feeling there's just going to be upsets galore this season. And there's going to be some really good teams that just have really flat weeks, and it's pretty news, I suppose, for every club. Carlton, they've been challenged a lot in the media quite heavily. Geelong, a really good win, obviously, against the Hawks last week, but I don't know about ultra disappointing, but Geelong should have won comfortably. I would imagine Hawthorn are a better side than Carlton, and we beat Hawthorn by 10 goals. So naturally you think, not by 10, but winning well. Although, I think when you underestimate your opposition, and when the opposition has their tail up and they get, they kick that first few goals, it makes it really difficult. Again, I'm always pleased with the Cats and their ability to come back. They never give up. But quite frankly, the Cats had the chance to win late. I suppose with what led it to this way, missed tackles were really annoying at times as well, which really allowed Carlton to move the ball quite freely. We just gave them way too much time and space to allow them to sort of use the ball as well. And we just weren't hard enough, and their pressure wasn't up to the level Carlton was which it was for 3 quarters. But look, again, that I was so impressed with the fight back, and I genuinely thought we were going to win late when we got it back to a pretty close margin. Mitch Duncan obviously snapped that goal, which was touched. Would have made it a couple of points with about 4 or 5 minutes to go. I was pretty excited there, and then it's just a lot of players jumped out of nowhere, but the midfield, very disappointing. Ablett, Dangerfield and Selwood in the midfield at the start of the third term, so that meant it was getting pretty serious for the Cats. But our ball use generally wasn't very good. I mean, the only thing to really be, I suppose, happy with is the fight back and playing our best footy for barely a quarter to win us a result in less time, but really, you shouldn't be putting yourself in those positions. I mean, if you leave it down to 1 quarter, 90% of the time you're going to fall flat on your face, which the Cats did. Don't know what it means in terms of the Cats and whatnot. But let's have a look at some of the the stats, which will probably give me some more retrieval cues. I'm pretty rattled at the moment, if you can't already tell. Yeah, so obviously we had more of the footy. Late we would have definitely got more of the pill. The marks, and especially early on, Carlton just outmarked Geelong so often. We couldn't really get our hands on the ball in the air, and that's where we're supposed to strive. But that really gave Carlton the ascendancy there, as you'll probably see soon. You get kicks and handballs. It's amazing. 37 inside 50s for 19 scoring shots, 12 goals. Pretty good. Disposal efficiency got up as the game went on. And clearances, yet again, late we would have made these numbers look a bit better. So we're probably going to win all these stats, but, and again, what have we had? We've had 22 scoring shots by the looks of it to 19. It feels like a bit more. But, yeah, there's a lot of little moments, and I'll definitely reference that with some players. Yeah, turnovers, yeah. And how did Henry not know there's Eddie Betts right behind him late? How did no one tell him? The marks is very symbolic, 82 to 52. We just could not intercept mark. It was bizarre. It was a little bit of a Dewey night, but wasn't any dramas for Casbolt and Mackay taking big marks, and McGovern. They were just clunking it. Like all three of their forwards just playing the best games of their lives just out of nowhere. And the defence sort of lifted late for the Cats. And the marks inside 50 was just unbelievable. In shortened time, for Geelong to concede more than 10 in a game's incredible under normal time, and 15 to the Blues is just unbelievable. The contested marks as well, just again, this highlights the marking prowess. I reckon, yeah, McGovern and Mackay and Casbolt would have got a fair few in there. So, yeah, the Cats never in front at all, and don't lose very often at home. Probably less than 10 games lost in the last 13 years at home. That also really frustrates me. I like to think of it as a nearly impossible trip to come along and beat us, sit down here, and then a plucky sort of Carlton that just finally put it all together in a game, and should have. I can't say they should have lost, but Geelong shouldn't have lost from the position they were in. But Carlton deserved the win because they play better footy for a longer period of time. Doesn't always mean you win, but yeah, whatever happens will happen. Tackles were good late. There's a lot of stats, really. Pretty useless, but the main stat is that the Blues got the win. The votes are pretty tricky because, yeah, it's one of those games where no one... when you're not winning, there's not as many good players. I'm very surprised. Mitch Duncan, 24 possessions. Got going late, so I've got to think of the best player on the ground, which is going to be really tricky here. I haven't really even thought about it either, so I'm going to have to do some thinking here. But yeah, I don't think it'll be going towards that end. I'm going to have to go probably... Yeah, jeez, this is really tricky. I'm going to lean towards Dangerfield getting us back into the game. I don't think anyone deserves 3 votes, to be brutally honest. I'm going to go 2 votes for Duncan for an incredible last quarter. He probably got most of his possessions in that final term, but yeah, I mean that's when the whips were cracking. Yeah, so Dangerfield obviously was pretty strong. He tried his absolute heart out, and yeah, it wasn't quite enough, but that's okay. There's so many stats over here that I can't get access to. That's fine. I've got to click now. Gee whiz. What is happening? What is happening in 2020? Mitch Duncan, yeah, 24 possessions and 5 marks in there, 3 tackles. There's a lot of stats there. Time on ground. I'm giving a 1 vote to Gary Rowan as well. Yeah, he was quite lively and sort of initiated that spark comeback for the Cats. He got the 10 touches and he kicked a couple of goals next to his name as well, and just some really good... Where are the goals? Okay, now we're talking. Yep, Rowan kicked 2 goals. And yeah, he had a lot of really good pressure acts and some really good contested marks, which I was quite impressed with. So he played a solid game. And yeah, definitely I'm thinking about Narkle as well. for sure, because as this game sort of wore on, he got into it. But yeah, I suppose the rest of the players, Stewart was okay. I feel like he's getting beaten in one-on-ones a little bit more. Maybe it's the ball movement. Who knows? The defence was pretty leaky. Mentioned Rowan and Dangerfield. Myers was really good. He got into the game as it went on. Like, I'm going to say probably every player, but yeah, he also had an interesting moment where he just played on and probably shouldn't have. Could have been another goal for the Cats, and he wasted it. But that's okay. He was his run throughout the ground was okay, but think before you snap it. Player height to the goal line next time. Selwood, he was solid. He tried 18 touches and a goal. I thought Tui's run off half-back was pretty good, actually. So now that I'm looking at these players, it's there's a lot of players that probably got one vote games. I'm going to give it to one bloke. I thought, yeah, Guthrie was good as well as the game wore on. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of players now that I'm just looking at and going, yeah, they could nearly get one, but there wasn't many standouts, of course, and when that happens, you're generally not winning. So, speaking of not winning, Radicalier, I've had enough of him, to be honest. Look, he had a solid last quarter and he was okay in the ruck, but if he's not going to be able to play ruck full time, and Stanley's their number one ruckman, and he just frustrates me. He's always under the ball, he barely takes any marks, he doesn't really create much of a contest, and he's just not much of a presence. I mean, he's nothing again in terms of the scoreboard. So, like, if you're a big forward and you're not doing any of that, what are you in the side for? Bring Jenkins in. I've said Jenkins should be invited to fault, and Radicalier should have to force him out, or Jenkins should have to kick himself out from not playing well. Hawkins was good. He gave a few goals off and kicked a couple himself. G. Ablett was alright. Had a moment he would have liked to have had again, though, wouldn't he? Missed one from 38 straight in front when the pressure was really on. So, yeah, he kicked that every time, like probably 99 times out of 100. And, yeah, he has missed a few critical shots. He's obviously nailed a lot of critical shots in his time. But I think back to the Tigers, I think it was last year as well, where he had one from, he got the handball from Hawkins and then he missed it. It was either that or the year before. Sorry, it was the year before, 2018. Yeah, it's going back a little bit, but still. Stanley, Pitner probably had the better of him tonight. Taylor was okay and kicked a goal late in the game, or I suppose early in the late in the game. I thought Hughes' run off halfback was really good. It's pretty crazy stuff going on there. I thought Henry was okay. I'm going to be able to move it. Yep, beautiful. Henry was okay, but late, yeah, got to be aware of what's going on, mate. Atkins didn't have much of the ball. O'Connor was alright. There's a lot of kicks here. Blitzarves was okay, but yeah, he did what he had to do, I guess. Stephen, a bit of a tough night for him. Yeah, it was one of those games where when you've just come back and, you know, he's under pretty tough circumstances for sure. And the opposition's applying just all sorts of pressure, so it's, yeah, what can you do? What can you do? But he'll be better for the run, though, Jackie Stephen. Look, Dalhouse obviously a concussion, so he wasn't able to sort of make much of a mark on the game from the bench. So, chopping block, Radicalier, he's got to go. He's got to go to whatever, a scratch match. I don't know what they're doing these days, but this COVID's just thrown me all out. But Radicalier out, Jenkins in, see what he can do. Yeah, I just don't see what Radicalier is doing at the moment. Jenkins can also pitch in the ruck and actually play decently up forward, you know, assuming good ball delivery, like any forward line would like. Yeah, so I don't know what to think of this game. It's like you have expectations before the game, and before the game you think, oh yeah, an 8-goal win, and all of a sudden Carlton are up by 7 goals, and you go, all right, well, the Blues are probably going to win. I'm still going to stick around though. You know, you can't write the Cats off, and especially at home, they've produced some remarkable results over the years, and then your expectation switches to, well, it's an incredible comeback, an incredible win if we get there. So then all of a sudden you're looking at the game differently. So depending on what throws up throughout the game, you change your expectation based off what's happening. And yeah, it is kind of typical Geelong, where they do leave it a bit late, and they come back, but just getting over that little hump is proved to be challenging over the last sort of 18 months for the Cats, and I suppose it's going to be even tougher with these shorter quarters as well. So as far as the Cats the week after, who knows if they'll play Melbourne, because obviously the Melbourne Essendon game cancelled, TBC, as we can see, due to Connor McKenna. I'm jumping ahead. I'm jumping ahead to round 5, don't know why. So we got Melbourne at the MCG. Look, when you see, you don't want to base it off 1 week. I think we're a better team than Melbourne, but how do we go at the MCG? How are Melbourne going in general? I mean, I'm thinking about tipping us, but I don't really know what to expect from any club from week to week. There's upsets galore. You can think you have a hold on someone, and no one in their right mind would have tipped the Blues. I think Geelong will win, but also no, Melbourne won't be easy to beat, and I don't think any team this year is going to be easy to beat. We're all sort of weirdly equalised with these conditions, but it's going to be an incredibly tough season, no doubt. And when you're losing games at home, which the Cats hardly ever do, they lose about one a season on average, thereabouts. Didn't think it would be to a Carlton side, but there you go. I tipped the Hawks to beat us last week, and not the craziest call of all time, but I'm just a week too early to it. So there you go. So yeah, look, I don't know how I feel at the moment. I'm happy with the comeback, but I'm pretty distraught with the results. So that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Carlton were just a better team on the night, and we'll see how the season goes. So thanks for hanging around for the review, guys. Give the video a like, subscribe away, and keep subscribing if you want to hear more salty reviews about the Cats. Have a good night. Catch you guys later.